Hi guys, welcome back. It's Abby. Zen Rin. Run, get your coffee or beverage. If you're off work, get a beer. And some stretchy pants. There is a uniform, you know. We have to keep this act top shelf. I am a coffeeaholic. Anyways, I just wanted to dip my toe back in. I had so much fun. I really did. And actually, a lot of the fun came from so many nice people out there and some not so nice people, but that's okay. I wouldn't appreciate the nice people so much if I didn't have the other folks. And if you were reading along in comments, you probably saw that I can be a little salty and very sarcastic. So there might be a chuckle in there too. We're going to read some tarot cards today, but I want to do it on a new case. This case is ongoing, and I thought that would be fun with the cards because then we could sort of see what do the cards say and what actually happens. I want to talk today about the Blue Moon Killer. Blue Moon Killer. And our cannabis selection today is Blue Guava. It's a lovely hybrid, and it's euphoric, uplifted, and tropical. We'll see. I'll give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. But I want to talk about the Blue Moon Killer. Who is Donald Hartung? By the way, I have some notes here just so I don't really screw up my facts. He is, I do believe he's 63 now. I think he was about 59 when this happened. Pensacola, Florida. Now, Florida, let's have a little talk. Are you aware that you're getting a bit of a rep around the world? Like crazy people running naked, biting faces. What in the hell is going on down there? Anyways, only true crime people will understand this. The good thing about this case is there's no kids. I don't know about you, but I just struggle with the kid thing. So when it's adults, I don't know. I can somehow detach myself and think, well, you're a grown up. So in some twisted, weird way, I am relieved that to find this to experiment with because there's no kids. So Donald Hartung, 63 years old, dubbed by the press the Blue Moon Killer in Pensacola, Florida. Back in 2015, his mother, her name was Whhyy, and Whhyy was 77, and his baby brother is Richard, and Richard was 47, and then the middle brother was John. Now, John and Richard were born to a different father. They are half-brothers to Donald. Probably that explains a little bit of the age gap there. Now, Richard and John lived full-time with Whhyy in the sort of family home. In 2012, Whyney's husband and the boy's father died. After 47 years of marriage, she was left alone, but had her two adult sons living with her to help. Now, this is important because the one son, the baby, Richard, who was 47, he was developmentally delayed. So he had quite a small world. He worked and he came home. He was, a cart pusher at, I do believe, Walmart. And he'd been there 20 years since the store opened. Sort of a steady Eddie guy that never broke out of his routine. The older brother was John. He was 49. He was a computer wizard, and he worked for Homeland Securities in their IT department. Neither man had children nor married. Donald left home and did marry, had a son, Donald Hartung Jr., and they were a bit estranged. It wasn't really close. He seemed like a bit of a loner. I still haven't figured out what he did for a job yet. I better write that down. But he was just down the road from where his mother and the two brothers lived. And they got together about once a week. He'd go over on Tuesdays. They had a big fenced yard. He had a boxer. And he could let the dog run, and he'd kind of help out around the house, and he'd cook the supper. So to make sure everything was on the up and up, probably give his brother a break and maybe, visit with the other brother. And so it was okay. Things were all right. And then, da-na-na-na, July 28th, 2015. It was a Tuesday. So Donald went over and cooked a nutritious supper of French fries and, it sounded kind of gross, but probably hearty enough. The oldest brother, John, I shouldn't say the oldest, the middle brother, John, he didn't get home until 6 o'clock. So they would eat first and then put his plate in the oven. And according to Donald, he went about his business. They had their supper. His baby brother, John, went into his room to watch TV. His mother went into her TV room. And he said, adios, swooped up his dog, and away he went. And he wasn't aware of any other problems. So July 28th, that was the last Donald had seen of them. And then on July 31st, the police are called for a welfare check, and the bodies are discovered. Apparently, the fact that both these guys had missed their jobs was so out of the realm of possibility that coworkers sent the police over. Let's talk a little bit about Whhyy. Whhyy was widowed in 2012 and was able to live on in the family home. I think with she needed to look after this Richard, and then John sort of helped her look after Richard, but it also was a place for John. Like, I don't think he, from the sounds of it, would have been able to make much of a life. He'd have probably lived in a basement suite, eating TV dinners sort of thing. So in a way, the three of them kind of cobbled together a little community, a little family unit, and they were just grinding life out. Whhyy was getting older, and her greatest joy in life was shopping. She liked to watch, I do believe it's your American Home Shopping channel is QVC. And that was her go-to joy. And she was bordering on a hoarder situation, from what I understand. The packages, it was another telltale sign something was wrong. The packages were mounting up on the front door. It was sort of like, I think she ordered every day and the parcels came every day. If your shopping is anything like our online TV shopping, wow, what in the hell was she buying? You can only get so much polyester clothing. Ooh. So why would this grown man snuff out his whole family? He wasn't having an affair, was he? There wasn't some young nymphette at his office, was there? Well, that's the thing. The reports are that he was like a wizard or a Wicca in the Wiccan. He was a Wiccan. Whatever. He was into sort of an alternative religion. What I know about Wiccans, I don't know why anybody would think they'd kill anybody. I think they're kind of the nature people, aren't they? They worship the sun and the trees and the sky and all those good things. Anyways, and he had a Ouija board. All right. I don't think just owning a Ouija board makes you a murderer. I think Ouija boards have gotten a lot of bad rap. Anyways, apparently that was the thing that pushed everybody over the edge, was the Ouija board and the fact that there was a blue moon. Which apparently the Ouija board told them, it's a blue moon, great time to kill your family. Now, like anybody else with half an ounce of common sense, we all know Ouija boards don't talk. And if a Ouija board tells you to give all your money to a crazy preacher, or kill your family, or jump off a building, don't do it. I think Parker Brothers Games makes Ouija boards. So, the trial has started. His defense is it's not him. The motive has been loosely floated out. I haven't watched all the trial yet. I'm saving it. One of the ideas of the motive is he had been cut out of the will. So not only did he have to kill the mother, he had to kill the two brothers because they stood in the way. If everybody was dead, he gets it. So that's sort of the underlying theory. Could also be he's a complete nutter whack job, right? He's a mouth breather. I've noticed that. What? Cut that out. And then some genius at his defense table gave him some kind of a candy or a, I don't know what. But the mouth gymnastics with the I thought, stop this immediately. Then he fishes out a hanky and proceeds to drill down up into his sinuses there like he's looking for oil. I guess he's bored and fidgety. Get him a fidget spinner. That's what you need to do, because he's kind of creeping me out with all this body maintenance and eating, and you're on trial for your life here, pal. Stop. Pay attention. So the other problem with this is the crime scene technician that did all the work on this case. Well, she had a little problem. Turns out she liked drugs. And you know what they say, cops have the best drugs. So she was getting her drugs from the evidence locker at the police, and she got caught and she got fired. So here is another big hole for the defense to stick their foot in, is why would we believe this drug addict crime tech? There you go. The brother working for Homeland Security has been sort of also frittered out there that, maybe he was more than the guy who reset your password. I don't know. So, let's read some cards on Donald. I just want to know a little bit about Donald, what he's like inside and out, and maybe we'll get a feel for what makes him tick. They showed the police interrogation, and he's wearing the typical Florida uniform, sort of cargo shorts, t-shirt, and a cap. I might note too that the shorts appear very, very short. I can see his upper thigh. I can almost see chub rub there. He's getting right up into the meat. Is it because we're a certain age? Is it because once I went on Our Time or My Time or Lowered Expectations or whatever that place was, and every picture looked like him? Yeah. And actually, I gotta be honest with you, a man that age that's slim and trim and still has his own hair, the only thing that would make him a trifecta of goodness is if he had a full-time job or a full pension and a dicky heart. That would be better, right? Yeah. Anyways, he looks just like you think he would look. Okay, Boomer. So, let's see what's going on with the big Don. He sure doesn't look like a killer, but he looks weird. If that, he looks like he's, well, like I said, his mouth's always open. That right away, that's something I've been really watching with me, is my resting bitch face. Because we don't know how we look. Somebody should show him the video, because it's bad. It's warmed up here. Yay. I've been skating on the pond. Yay. Everything else is fine. Yay. Take a breath. We need to clear our minds here so we can get a full picture of Donald Hartung, 63, the Blue Moon Killer. Did he do it? Is he capable of doing it? Is he crazy? Is he a recluse? Maybe he's like the Unabomber, like a crazy recluse genius. Oh, there's my itchy nose. Sorry. I giggle every time that happens. These are going to be the clarifiers. I'm going to do the Celtic Cross, the standard thing. Good. Ready? Ew! I'm ready. So, True Crime Loser and Kimberly fans, yes, I want you to check out a little gal named Stephanie Harlow. She started out as a beauty makeup gal on YouTube, and then I think she did one true crime, probably the Chris Watts, and she just took off. Well, I think she's pretty much dropped the beauty stuff, and she's full-time YouTubing now, and she really works hard, and she puts out a professional product, and I think she deserves every subscriber, every nickel of ad she gets, everything. She really works it, and yeah, I think you should check her out. Come on down. Oh, I fell skating and I got a bum elbow here. All right, let me move the mouse in. Here we go. So we're smoking blue guava hybrid, and we're talking about the Blue Moon Killer. The killing took place in 2015. Mom Vonnie and her two sons, Richard and John, in Pensacola. That Florida, hey? Ooh, I love it when we get a nice turned up card. Or nice. What's it about? Money. Ten of Coins talks about inheritance. Literally talks about the family legacy, things you inherit, things that are passed down, generational wealth, finance, and security. So fascinating, because that's exactly what they say this is all about. Is he had been cut out of the will, and he was mad. So not only did he have to kill his mother, but he had to kill the other two beneficiaries, the brothers, in order to get back as able to inherit. Okay, these are these tattooey cards again, which somehow are just really rocking with me these last little while. So I'm going to keep on using them. Oh, look at that guy. That's the what does the future hold? Wow, a whole bunch fell out there, hey? Ten of Cups. Again, this is the happy family card underneath. Maybe that was underneath. People really thought this was your normal everyday family. The widowed mother, the widowed elderly mother with her three boys, you know, doing what they can to keep everything, all systems go. I'm going to just throw my clarifiers on right now, and then I don't have to fuss anymore. And as you can tell, in no particular order, there's never any particular order for me. I just let my fingers do the walking. Oopsie. Oh, where are you? You just were loose. I felt you. Huh. On the bottom is a coming home to victory. That's a weird card, eh? He was coming home to victory. I'm going to grab a slurp of my coffee, take a breath, settle my thoughts. Good. Let me flip these over and then we'll come up and talk about them all. Oh, well, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense too. Got a duplicate here. I didn't do up the side, which we can talk if we need to about that. What I wanted to drill down on a little bit was sort of who is this guy? What really did motivate him? Can we get a handle on what it was? Like maybe he just had this deep-seated hatred for his mother, you know? Who knows? Let's come on up and let's see. Got it? There we go. Let's see what we can find out about Donald. Donald, personality right in the middle. Where is he right now? The Lovers. He has this card come up twice, the Lovers. The Lovers is not a couple to me. In my readings, the Lovers talks of an obsession. It's that hot, crazy, can't get enough of each other, new relationship, you know, you hang up first, no, you hang up first, you know, that stage. And it talks literally about can't get it off of your mind, you're obsessed with it, it's consuming you. It usually is something that's going to burn up fast, maybe in this case, burn you. So he had an obsession. And he had been made an offer. The Four of Cups talks about an offer that you don't want. It also talks of a sulky child, you know, where they've been fussing and you offer them something and you go, no. That sort of energy, you just want to slap the smirk off their face, you know. So right now he was obsessed with something. They made him an offer. He didn't like it. And the father figure. So right off the bat, I'm wondering if this cutting him out of the will wasn't something that the mom and dad had talked about before he died. And perhaps he said, listen, we have to look after young Richard because he's got some challenges ahead of him. So we need to be, you know, aware of what's going on. So we've helped out old Donald, and he's kind of the black sheep, and he has a Ouija board. I mean, right there, cut him out. He's got a Ouija board. So, you know, he's made his way. We've helped him as much as we can. We have to think of these other children. Plus, that was his biological children, right? Donald was not his biological child. And I suspect this happened years ago, this cutting him out of the will. And I suspect it chewed at him, if for no other reason, even if he was independently wealthy, which he wasn't, he would have been hurt by that. Anytime you say you're not part of the family, even if you don't mean it in that sense, it's very hurtful. So he was made an offer, something that has gotten under his skin, and he has obsessed about it. What pushed him? What's sort of the wind at his back? The Three of Coins. This is group work, group money, and so again, it is the money. He understands that he should share it. And he might have even been willing to share it with the brothers, but he got cut out. So that wasn't even an option. And the energy about it is it's his whole world. He's actively waiting and he has his whole world in his hand. He's standing waiting for a ship to come in, looking for an opportunity. So perhaps that's he knew what he was going to do for quite a while, and he just bided his time. And one day, apparently during the blue moon, whilst under explicit instructions from his Ouija board, he did this. What's his soul say? What does his internal dialogue say? The Queen of Cups, or the Queen of Coins. This could be representative of the mother. She controlled this will, right? She was the keeper of the coin in this state. And what was on top of her? Judgment. He was holding her in judgment. He was judging her. And she had judged him, didn't she? You can see the corpses are being called up to answer. So I think he was, part of this was to hold her accountable for this judgment she made about him. And apparently she wasn't killed quickly. He roughed her up a bit. I don't want to say that. I don't want to spoil the story. But he needed to get a combination for a family safe out of her. So there was some indications that it wasn't as quick for her as it was the other brothers. So there was a lot of judgment, and she was the ruler of the purse. Not mom, money mom. Wow. What was he trying to push out to the world? This is what he felt deep inside, but what was showing on outside? The Three of Swords. This is my grief card. Like, they broke his heart. His heart was pierced. He also two sons and the mother, loss. This is the heartbreak you do not recover from. You might heal it up, but that scar will show. This kind of sorrow leaves a scar. This sort of grief leaves a scar. Sorry. Wow, that blue guava. Woohoo! So he was hurt. He was so hurt. When he turned down this offer that was made, it literally, something died in him. And he was off on a mission. You can see, this is the Knight of Swords. He is such a build up, so much speed and so much momentum. That's the word I'm looking for. He's almost haphazard. That horse is thundering along, and he's got one hand on the rein, and he's telling everybody how upset he is, and he should really get settle down and be more vigilant. He might look like he's in charge, but he isn't. He's on a slippery slope. He does not have control of this horse, and it may dump him or take him where he doesn't want to go. But he does not sense the danger because he is crushed emotionally. Something died emotionally for him, and when he did this, or when his family died, because he's not been convicted yet, in his heart, his heart was already in the grief mode. So what might be an option for him? This is something that could happen. It's not guaranteed, or, it's just sort of an option maybe available to him, something he should watch. The Knight of Cups. This is a messenger, and he's a funny messenger because if you look, in this case, it's a bird. In the other decks, it's a fish. So here comes this message, and there's something funny in it. I think the bird in this case is the lab tech getting busted for the drugs. She's the fly in the ointment. She's the twist in the story, right? It really doesn't have too much to do with the actual murder. It's just and by the way, maybe we can't trust what they're telling us. So he may get some benefit from that surprise. That might actually weigh with the jury a little bit, and maybe they'll say, we'll just disregard. We won't give her testimony any credence one way or the other, and that might work to his benefit. And they're really hanging their hat on that. Here comes these lovers again. You're in love with the idea. You're in love with the plan. It's the only way to go. You're sure of it. You're obsessed about it. You're betting the farm on it. So I suspect that he really is thinking this is going to buy him something. What is going to happen? It won't be a long drawn out deliberation. This is the Eight of Swords, and this talks about speed. Talks about all systems are go, clear sailing. Probably with this card also talks about speed. This one's far more controlled. This one's a little haphazard. This one, I think, talks about the jury, because this is a messenger. We had the messenger with the cup. Well, this one is like a town crier. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. That's how he is. And he's an enthusiastic. He's well-spoken. People stop and listen to this guy. So they are going to come back. This hear ye, hear ye, hear ye is going to come back quickly. I don't think there's going to be a big debate over that now. What else? What does this future hold? Oh dear. Five of Cups. This is a sorrow card. This is despair, disappointment. You can see the tears coming out of the eye. This is a crushing defeat. And interestingly enough, in the Rider-Waite deck, it shows 3 of these cups are spilt. Again, he spilt 3 people's blood. If he is convicted, that's what he'll be convicted of. And this is despair. And all these cards fell out together. Coupled with the Nine of Swords. So not only does he have despair, the Nine of Swords is fear, 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 anxiety, sleeplessness, in your own head. Yes. Okay, so you got disappointment, despair, fear, and anxiety. What else? 7 of Cups. This is a cup of illusions. This is... sometimes I will say, it's even though you know it, you won't be surprised when the wheels fall off of this. You're in denial. You're fooling yourself. Nobody else has seen this. This talks about you pays your money, you takes your chances. Spin the wheel. It's the 3-card Monty. Yeah, maybe you'll win, but these games are rigged for the house. So maybe he really thought they're going to pull a miracle out of their hat with this lab tech business. But I think it is a case of you spin the wheel, you take your chances. I don't think it's as certain as he thinks it is. If anything, I think the jury will say, we'll just disregard her whole. We won't give it any weight either way, whereas he's believing it won't. And why I believe that? Sword of Truth. The Sword of Truth covers all that disappointment, despair, anxiety, because somebody's going to cut through the bullshit and arrive at an answer. Let's see if one card will pop out, and I want to ask, can we see, what's it looking like? Guilty or not guilty? Didn't answer me, but if you go watch the trial, the prosecuting lady Actually, she did the Ashley MacArthur case, and I loved her in that one too. She almost looks like her. You won't see any tattoos or anything. She looks very reserved, but she has the dark hair and the pale skin. And from watching her in another trial, this would be exactly her. And what is she wielding? Look at the sword of truth. So right now, it ain't looking good for Dawn. Blue moon or not. Wow. So I'm going to watch some more, and I hope this is something that'll be of interest to everybody. I'm just amusing myself, and chime in. Unless you have something stupid to say, how about if that's what you're going to do, just type it and then delete it. Save everybody a lot of trouble, because I'll just snap back and you won't like it. Anyhow, I like you guys, and I'm interested to see how this Dawn explains this. So get caught up, and maybe all our true crime mentions will start covering this if we show an interest. So peace out, everybody. Oh, see, I'm really bad at this.